that ended up like causing a spark in my life. I got jumped one year, just randomly, you know, you're just like walking the street and then three guys come out of nowhere and they just jump you. And then my cousin showed me that TV show at the time when that happened to me. So when I was hitting the bag, I like hit it nonstop for like so many rounds. And then he told me to stop, but I kept going. So I was like always trying to push myself from day one. So I fought at a time there was no age category. I was 17 years old and they matched me up with a guy who was like 25, 26 or something.
If someone was starting from scratch, right? Say like I wanted to a professional boxer. How do I become a professional boxer?
Like anything could happen. So you need to still like have your life set together even if things don't pan out for you. I think people are just lazy. Like if you have time to like watch a TV show, I think I made a mistake during those times with those people. Like I should have been more appreciative towards them. And in a street fight, I wouldn't go for it. You got to get them to punch and dodge it, and then you hit them in the liver.
How do you handle that? Because I know someday you want to quit, but you still keep going to the gym. What keeps you motivated? What keeps you going? At these fights, what does winning mean to you?
Winning mean to me, I would say,
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner.
80 amateur fights, or over 80 amateur fights, 10 professional fights. You stepped into one of the most dangerous careers probably in the world. Why did you get into boxing?
it's actually not a dangerous story of how I got in though. I just watched a TV show about the sport of boxing called Hajime no Ippo. And then I just like how the main character was like going about his life and he's being an underdog. And then the same summer I watched that TV show, I just went to a boxing gym and I just got started.
That's it.
That's it.
You just saw the episode. You're like, yo, I'm getting into that. I just want to become a boxer. That's it.
I just saw the series. Like it was like a TV. It was like an anime.
Yeah.
And there's also it's also the longest running manga of all time. Like it's still running from the 1980s. So like I just watched the anime and then I still read the manga to this day. But yeah, that's basically the reason I started. Because he was like a kid getting bullied in school, and I was like, I got jumped in school, and I was so mad I couldn't beat the guys who jumped me. So then I just started boxing after that.
So a whole anime changed your whole career path. What were you doing before that? Before you watched that episode, what were you trying to go into?
Before that, I was like one of those kids getting straight A's in school, but then I was also like on the basketball team, and I hate to say it this way, I was kind of good at everything, so I just kept doing everything good, and then that ended up like causing a spark in my life where I got jumped one year, like just randomly, you know, you're just like walking the street and then three guys come out of nowhere and they just jump you, and then I ran away, and I was just so mad that I ran away and I couldn't fight three guys at the same time. Which now I'm thinking like if I could go back now, I could probably take all three at the same time. But now it's like after that happened to me, I just felt so like weak. So then I ended up like I was like, yo, I got to get stronger. And then I just started. Then I watched, and then my cousin showed me that TV show at the time when that happened to me. So it just resonated with me, and I was like, I gotta start doing that. So then 15 years later, I'm still doing it.
So you had the drive in that one moment, and then 15 years later, you're still doing it. That's incredible. So run me down. How was your first day in the training gym? Were you just so mad, just breaking your hands in the punching bag? I know if you don't punch it properly, you can break a wrist or something, right?
Yeah, I took like where I started was in the gym that I go to now. So I went to like another gym that had like boxing classes, and I joined with one of my friends of mine at the time because he wanted to get into it too, and he's Filipino, so he liked Manny Pacquiao and stuff. And then I heard of Manny Pacquiao and I watched the TV show and stuff. So then we both just started taking classes like Tuesday and Thursday, and we did that for like a year. Then my friend fell off, but I still wanted to continue doing it. But the place I was going to wasn't like super serious. Like they didn't have like boxing every day, and like they weren't like training like competitive boxers. So then I ended up calling my coach at the time, who is at the nationals in Canada, taking his boxers to the nationals. So I gave him a call and I said like, I want to start training with you, and he told me to like start coming like the next week, right? But the thing is like, in order to get to that gym, it's like really far. So he's like, meet me at this gym, and then I'll pick you up and we'll go, right? And then like I just trusted some random stranger, like a coach that I was in that called online, and then I ended up going, him picking me up, and then he has like, at the time he had like road rage, so like I'm in the car with him and he's like swerving through lanes and he's like he's like cussing off other drivers and stuff, and I was like, yo, what am I getting into? And then he brought me to like my first like real boxing gym at that time.
That's it. How was the training section?
The training session itself, it was tiring. It was good. I remember I was like, yo, I have to prove my worth to this coach, right? So I was like, yo, I gotta train extra hard. I gotta show him. So when I was hitting the bag, I like hit it nonstop for like so many rounds. And then he told me to stop, but I kept going. And he's like, no, you're good. Like you don't need to do all that. So I was like always trying to push myself like from day one.
Wow. But because it's pretty difficult when it's like more endurance based, cardio based.
It's both. I would say if you look at like the top 10 hardest sports and they like rate them by like reflexes, grit, strength, speed, endurance, etc. Boxing's ranked the highest. Like like out of every attribute it takes in a sport, like boxing has like it has the most of every attribute. So it's like a combination of strength, speed, everything.
But wasn't that difficult because you say you were on the basketball team,
Mm.
right? And you were playing basketball. And like that's totally different. Conditioning for basketball compared to conditioning for boxing are two different things.
Yeah.
Right. So how was it? How was the conditioning part of just boxing and like the first couple of years?
I think like boxing is like a completely different animal. It's not like there's no other sport like similar to that type of endurance. And then also in basketball, like if you get tired, like you can lean on your teammates, but in boxing, you can't. There's no one to lean on. You just got to do it yourself, right? So if you get tired, it's like on you, and you're gonna get hurt. That's another thing. Like if you're getting tired in ball or like soccer, you could get like subbed out, or like you're not like getting inflicted pain on you, but like if you get tired in boxing, or like you're actually getting like plain, like it's like you're getting tired, you're getting damage done to you. So it's like more of a worse feeling.
Yeah, because those are team sports. So like you can just chill for a little bit, but this one is like it's a 1v1, right? You're going 110% at all times. Did your grandfather make an impact on you? Well, was he because I think he was also in the martial arts as
Yep.
well. So because he was doing MMA and kickboxing as well.
Yeah, so I don't know too much about my grandfather. Like I know he was like a karate black belt and he like did tournaments in India and stuff, but I didn't know that at the time I started boxing. So then I just like started boxing, I started getting fights and stuff, and then my relatives told me after like, oh, you know, your grandpa did this and that. But I still don't really know too much about him. I just know like my grandma tells me like there's pictures of him in the library in Sri Lanka, and like he's like a very like renowned person for like his fighting sports and stuff. But I still don't know. I have to like dive deeper into that. One day I will.
I don't know. It's the same blood running through. Oh, that's why you're the first professional Tamil Canadian boxer.
Yeah, first Tamil Canadian professional.
Professional boxer. That's incredible. That's honestly insane. Like representing the Tamil Canadian too.
Mhm.
Run me down your first amateur fight.
Oh, my first amateur fight. That's So I fought at a time there was no age category. So I was 17 years old, and they matched me up with a guy who was like he was like over 20. He was like 25, 26 or something.
Wait, and how old were you then?
I was 17.
Okay.
So there's no age category. Like anybody over the age of like 16 could like fight each other or something. I don't know. It was like that age category was weird. Also, like at that time, like I just wasn't like I was a good like I was like strong. I was like fast, and I wasn't really that strong because you're 17, right? So I don't even think I could do like 10 pull-ups. Like I could probably do like 3 pull-ups, but I was just an animal. I just kept trying to like to hurt people and stuff. So my coach thought I was good. I was good enough. I was good enough. So I went into the fight with this guy who was like 26, but I had to lose weight for the fight. So you have to lose like I had to lose like 5-6 pounds. So I didn't eat like the day or two before the fight. And then I had to wait for my coach to pick me up to go to the boxing event. And I was inside a Cineplex. Like I forgot it was the Scarborough Town Center Cineplex or the Yorkdale Cineplex. But I was just sitting in there, and all I could smell is popcorn. And I was so hungry, bro. I was like, yo, I need to eat. Like I'm gonna die, bro. And then I'm like, I couldn't eat, and then he picked me up eventually. Like he was late to pick me up, and I was just smelling popcorn the whole time. He took me to the weigh-in, and then I weighed in, and then I saw the guy I was gonna fight. It was like this like black guy, and he's like deezed, and he has like a beard and stuff. And I was like, oh shit, like this is not gonna be easy, right? And my coach told me it wasn't gonna be easy because the gym I was fighting was like a good gym. So then I went into the fight, yo, all 3 rounds I like didn't stop punching. I just like kept running at the guy, like trying to hit him, and he kind of like outboxed me. But I still did good, like considering I'm like 17 years old fighting like a 26-year-old. But I didn't win that fight. But I lost every round. I didn't get beat up or anything like that. But it was just like a close fight. But I was just so sad I lost my first fight, man. I was just so angry it happened that way, but
But
that's part of it.
but it's incredible that you even took shots on the guy, right? Because 3 straight rounds punching, like your arms would be like dead, right? After just like 1-2 rounds,
Yeah.
right? And then that guy was like he was probably in the profession for like at least a couple of years, right? A couple of years more than you, or
I
around
don't think so. He probably had a little more experience than me at the time.
Yeah, for your first ever fight, that's incredible. Like, I don't think if I even trained that hard, I would be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly incredible how you did that.
And then I got the revenge in my second fight because I won by knockout in like the first round. So like it's like I knew I was good, but it's just I don't know when you have those first 5 fights, it's like rolling the dice. You don't know who you're gonna fight. You could fight a guy who has like no experience or a guy who has like a lot of experience, even though they don't have many fights. So like yeah, the first 10 is like you don't know what you're gonna get. So
Yeah, they're all just weird, right? Because you don't know. They could be heavier, lighter, but it's always based on weight category, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what age.
age matters up to a certain point, but then when you turn 19 years old, or they changed it now, but now it's like 19 plus can all fight each other.
Oh, okay. So what was it before?
Before, if you were like over 16, you could fight anybody.
Damn. Okay, that's pretty insane. So you're a successful pro boxer, right? Made it 10 fights in. If someone was starting from scratch, right? Say like I wanted to become a professional boxer. There's no path. Like to become an engineer, you do this, that, right? How do I become a professional boxer?
Yeah, I would say you have to get like amateur fight experience. See, the weird thing about pro boxing is anyone can turn into a pro boxer. Like you could go tomorrow and like sign a medical and like turn professional. But then the difference is like you probably won't have a great career because you don't have that much experience and like you won't like you didn't learn how to fight on the way. So that's why you see some guys who are like pro boxers, but they're like Jake Paul or somebody like that. Like they turned pro, but he had like a big influence, like a big social media influence, so he can like sell tickets and be successful as a pro boxer. But in terms of like skills and stuff, when he first started, he wasn't there. But then Jake Paul like kept like training nonstop, and he kind of has a lot of money, right? So he can fund his own training, and he doesn't have to like work, and he just spent all of his time like towards training. So then he became what he is now. So like right now he's like actually a really decent professional boxer. But if you're not in that kind of position, you gotta like start by being an amateur boxer. Most likely when you're younger, like between the ages of like 10. Like most guys start when they're like 10 and they keep accumulating amateur fights. Some guys get hundreds of amateur fights. Like I have like 80, which is like a decent number for a guy who started at the age of like 16. But some guys have like 100, 200 amateur fights. And then they turn professional, like hopefully around the age of like 23, 24. Because then you get like your man strength starts to kick in. And then from there, you try to like just fight your rankings and try to become world champion.
Question, because you said the age like to start is around like 10 to 16, right? Around that age. But let's say if someone was like 20, like 20, 25, trying to get into the sport, what would they have to do differently compared to like the people that started earlier?
Yeah, if you started later, you basically have to play catch up to all those guys who started when they're 10. So you have to train even harder. You have to train smart too. You can't be like dumb with your approach. You gotta if you're at like an older age like that, you're gonna be more mature. So you're gonna you have to learn to fight smarter. You can't just like rely on like pure athleticism or like you have to fight with like a style. That's what I would say. And I would say get as much experience as you can. Even though you start late, you can have like a lot of amateur fights in a year. Like a guy in my gym, he started a little later too. I think he started when he was like 19 or 20. But he broke the record for the most number of fights in 1 year. Yeah, like the old record was held by my friend of mine, and he had like 20 fights in a year. And then this guy broke it, and he got like 24 fights in 1 year. So if you have 24 fights in like there's only 52 weeks in the year, this guy like fought like every other weekend basically, which is crazy. So it's possible. Like guys get 20 fights in a year, and then if you do that for like 2-3 years, you're like already at 40, 50, 60 fights within like 2 or 3 years. So it's definitely possible.
So you go from amateur fight, right? Or you can just go straight to pro, but then it's not worth it because you don't have no experience or nothing. So it goes so basically you start with a couple like what, between 80 to 100 or maybe even more amateur fights, then go to pro, right? And then in pro, where do you go after that?
It's only pro.
It's just pro, okay.
But also amateur boxing is a little weird because in the Olympics, it's only amateur. It's not pro boxers in the Olympics. So you have to stay an amateur to be in the Olympic boxing. But being an amateur boxer in the Olympics is like, it's like the equivalent of being a professional. There's no other sport like that, really. It's like, imagine a guy instead of going to the NBA. So like going pro is like going to the NBA.
Yeah.
But then there's guys who like stay in,
Like the G League.
they stay in the, no, not even the G League. They stay in like the NCAA.
Oh,
And then they become like like they stay in the NCAA for longer and longer. And then they become like NCAA champion.
Wow. Okay.
But then some guys in the NCAA might be better than some players in the NBA. It's kind of like that.
Okay. Yeah. I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I get it. But okay. I don't know. That's kind of weird.
It's,
Does it make sense or I don't know.
I think it does make sense because those guys, the reason they stay in the like NCAA or like Olympic Boxing League is because they're representing their country, right? So then they get carded as an athlete. So like Canada doesn't card their athletes as much, but if you're like the carded athlete in the States or like certain countries, like they give you like literally $1 million. Like, so there's no point to turning professional. Like you're getting millions of dollars being like the national team of like Kazakhstan or like whatever country you're from or like Sri Lanka or whatever. But why would you turn professional and like risk it all if like you're already getting like a decent salary just being a boxer for your country?
True. What's your dream?
I want to be the first Tamil world champion in the sport of boxing.
That's incredible to hear. So okay, you made it the first Tamil Canadian to make it pro. So next step is world champion. So to get there, how would you be able to get there?
I got to get more fights and then get ranked in the top 10 and then hopefully fight someone in the top 10 and then fight the champion eventually. But I'm still got to build your way there. It's tough to get fights too on your way there, but I think like within the next 3 years it's gonna happen, or like I'm gonna die trying.
I love the passion. I can see that you're putting a lot of effort into this.
Mm-hmm.
You also went to university, right?
Yep.
Question here. You knew that you wanted to go boxing, but you still also went to university. Well, why did you go?
I understand boxing is like a risky sport, so you like having a plan B. They always say like, oh, you only need a plan A. You're not serious about your plan. I'm like, that's bullshit. Like you actually do need a plan B, especially in a sport as risky as boxing. Like anything could happen, so you need to still like have your life set together even if things don't pan out for you. So like I knew having a degree, like my mom always wanted me to have one and go to university and stuff, and I knew the importance of it too. So throughout my entire boxing career, I was always in school. And I graduated from University of Toronto in 2019 in finance.
But weren't you putting a lot of time and effort into school? Like I understand the school is important, but like into a career like boxing, how you said, like it is very risky. But the 4 years, or how many years did you take? Like probably around 4 years.
4.5, yeah.
So it takes 4.5 years that you could have put into boxing, right? But then you were doing both at the same time. And that was honestly incredible because that's pretty difficult to do because you're probably going in and out the gym like probably every other day or every single day. Every single day.
Yeah.
So how did you even study for courses and do exams and all that sorts?
I think people don't use their time well. I think people are making excuses. Like there's 24 hours in a day. You use 8 to sleep. There's 16 to do what you got to do. If you wake up and train and spend like 1-2 hours and then you go to lecture, like lectures aren't. If you really choose your lectures right, like I always chose them back to back, so like I didn't waste time. And like I'm like, oh, I never chose like a night lecture. I'm not gonna like sit at campus and do nothing for 5 hours. So like I always chose my like first lecture like 11 or 9 to 11, and then 11 to 1, and then that'd usually be it for the day. And then between my training doesn't start until 4, so then between 1 to 4 I would like do all my work and like study and do whatever I had to do in terms of school. Then I just went straight to the boxing gym and then I trained and then do it again the next day. I think people are just lazy. Like if you have time to like watch a TV show, like just don't, like you can't say like, oh, how do you do that? Like, nah, like you're just mismanaging your time.
That makes sense how you allocated everything. Okay, that's true because you have 24 hours and then 16 hours to do both of them. Yeah, that makes, how often do you, like, how many hours do you train for?
Since I turned professional, it's a lot more. I'd say like 4 hours a day. Yeah, 4 or 5 hours a day.
Before, like when you were in university?
When I was in university, I think I still didn't take as much advantage of my time as I should have. Like looking back on it, I was like, oh, I could have like tightened it up even more. Like I got it done, but I think I probably could have still done 4 or 5 hours even back then. But I would say back then I did like 3 hours a day.
Still, that's still a lot of time. Like every single day for 3 hours straight.
Yeah.
And then you probably have your certain routine. Like everyone hits the gym, like legs, back, arms. You have probably like endurance and punching the bag one day, or like
Exactly.
or like a fight another day. Like your mock fights or whatever it's called.
Sparring.
Yeah, sparring. Yeah, you probably have that, and then that throughout the day. But like, let's say you get injured or something when you're practicing, right? And then has that ever happened when you were at school? Like when you were at university? Like, did you ever get like injured that you couldn't make it to school or something?
Not that I couldn't make it to school, but like it would just be like injuries, like your leg is like your knee hurt, your knee running, or like stuff like that. But that won't stop you at school as long as you can sit at the desk, like you're good.
No, I was like anything like bigger pain, like I don't know, getting hit in the face or something, like a black eye, or breaking a rib or something.
Oh, things like that happen. Like I show up to class with like a black eye, and I have to wear like sunglasses, or I just like wear my glasses on like the whole time and like pray no one looks at me in the eye. So like I guess like stuff shows like that. Or like I remember I like hurt my hand, so I like had like a cast, like a wrist cast on my arm, and I had to like go to school like with the cast on and stuff. And people are like, "Oh my God, what happened?" And I was like, "Like you're not gonna believe me. I got into a boxing match and I hurt my hand in the fight, and like stuff like that." So
yeah, that makes sense. Oh, was it your dominant hand?
no, that was my left hand at that time.
Yeah, I broke my hand while playing basketball. Well, this is nowhere near than all the injuries you did, but I had like a hairline fracture like right here.
That's pretty bad, man.
Yeah, and then it was university, like it was grade 12. When all your marks go in, I'm all right-handed, right? So I was writing left hand for that whole semester. No leniency for any of the teachers.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so
extra like half an hour.
No, nothing. He's like, yeah, screw you, bro. You're gonna do it like this. I was like, damn, it is what it is. But it's okay. It worked out at the end. I graduated.
Do you think it made you like more ambidextrous? Like since you spent that time doing that, like now you can like do stuff with your left hand or like.
No, that was only for a couple months, and I hated it. But like, I couldn't even drive it as properly. But like, it would be like squiggles. Like I don't know how people even do it. Like, I don't know. That was hard. So that's a good thing that it wasn't your dominant hand, right? Is there anything that you can take away from university that you implement into boxing?
Definitely the time management. Like at the time I was in university taking 5 courses. I was boxing, training, and I was working at McDonald's. Like I was working a part-time job too. And I remember being like so passionate into doing what I did that like I was willing to do anything to make it happen. Like I wouldn't, like if friends would ask me to go, I'm like, nah, I got to go to this, I got to go to work, I got to do that, and then people would be understanding. So it's like I also see like people who are like my friends or like who truly have like love for me, like they understand like I have these like tasks to do before I hang out with them, so then they like let me chase my passion, and they know I'll be there for them when the time comes.
Has it affected any of your relationships, like between family and friends?
Yeah.
Or are they just all understanding? Or some of them like, damn, like you don't hang out with them anymore, that's it, and they just like leave you alone and then they never talk to you again? Or are they like, okay, yo, I understand, it's like whenever you get a chance, let's meet back together and let's go forward with that?
Yeah, some people are like that, but then other people, it's like they've been doing that for so long, like they've been doing that for like 5-6 years and stuff, and then they kind of get sick of it. They're like, yo, like when is it gonna be my like chance? Like you've always been doing this and you've been putting me on like second pick for like so long, which I understand with. And I think I made a mistake during those times with those people. Like I should have been more appreciative towards them, and I realize there's faults in what I do too. Like I can't just say like, oh, I got to do this, I can't hang out with you guys. Like that's wrong too. So you have to find like I wouldn't say it's a medium. Like I'm still gonna choose me first, but it could have been better with maintaining relationships.
Yeah, it is very difficult. Like when you try to pursue your passion, like 110%, there's some things that you have to be more lenient on. And yeah, so sometimes it does suck, right? Because you want to go and have fun with your friends, you want to go to try these different food spots, go to different places, but no, you got to be at the gym 8 a.m. working out, right? Or hitting the bags. It's difficult, but at the end of the day, it's your career, it's your life, right? You choose yourself first, right, before anyone else, which makes sense. So I want to ask you a question. What's the hardest challenge you ever faced?
Ever faced?
Like, what's a hard, like, while boxing, would it be this friends, like, not talking to them? Or is there, like, I don't know, do you get into your own head sometimes?
Yeah.
Or is it, like, too much? Like, is this too much to handle? Like, sometimes you just want to quit.
Yeah, that like thoughts like that will like definitely come to you. Like it's not easy like doing what I do, but it's I feel like it's not really like what like boxing itself or like sparring or fighting somebody. Like I don't care. Like I'll do that anyway. It's just when everything hits you at once. Like recently, my mom went to. All right, so this is like super crazy. Like my mom recently went to Sri Lanka because my grandma passed away. I didn't know my grandma that well, but I've seen her. I've like met her a few times and stuff. So like that was kind of like sad seeing my family like mourn over my grandma. So then I had to help my mom get an emergency passport. So then I was like stressing to like help her get the passport. I had to like take off work to like help her do it. Then I got her like a flight ticket to like to go to Sri Lanka, or she got a flight ticket. Then she flew to Sri Lanka the same day that we found out that she passed away. Um, and then my mom obviously left on like an emergency. So she never got the vaccines like before you like travel to like third world countries and stuff. So then she's in Sri Lanka. She'll like call us and stuff. But like my dad was also already in Sri Lanka. So like me and my two brothers were home alone. So I was like moving like a single dad. I was like bringing food back for them. And like we were like doing like all the stuff like my mom would like take care of. Like I'm like helping clean the house and doing all this stuff. And I was like, man, like I should have like my mom does all this like behind the scenes. Like I didn't know like I'm just gone like at training and work. Like I don't know all this stuff happens behind the scenes. Like it made me really appreciate my mom and what she does for us behind the scenes. And then like I remember there's one day like both my brothers were like hungry, right? And they're like, yo, go buy dinner and like we need food to pack for lunch tomorrow and stuff. So I went to Frederick's and I bought like a chili chicken, fried chicken, all this stuff. And I'm like, it costs like $80. And I'm like, bro, this has to last them like a couple of days at least, right?
Yeah.
Bro, these guys ate dinner and packed the lunch tomorrow and the food was all gone. And I'm like, bro, I spent $80 on 2 meals. Like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I'm like, yo, this is like, and I didn't even eat dinner. Like, I barely ate the dinner too. So I'm like, yo, man, shit is expensive and it's like hard to like keep this up for all of them. Now, the kicker is when I picked up my mom from the airport, she got chikungunya, like, which is like a mosquito-borne illness. It's kind of like malaria.
Okay.
From the time she was in Sri Lanka. So then my mom came back like super sick, and then she was like admitted to the hospital right away. So then I had to go back and forth between seeing my mom and stuff, and we didn't know that she had that mosquito-borne illness. So I was thinking like, yo, what's happened to my mom? Like I don't know. Like the doctors keep doing blood tests, like we don't know what's happening. So then during this whole time, I was like super stressing. And then my car was also starting to break down. Like my car was having issues. So I had to like go to the mechanic and I'd like go and come back from the mechanic and deal with that. And then on top of all that, I would be having like girl problems with this like girl I was talking to at the time. So like everything all at once. And then I couldn't go to training because I was like dealing with stuff in my car and my mom and that stuff. So like when everything hits you at once, that's the problem. Like if it was like one single thing at a time or just me boxing or just me doing this, it's like whatever. But it's like when like everything like comes at once, it's like that's hard to manage. But I got through it all. Like I'm here right now and I'm good. Like but it's just like last like couple months have just been like a roller coaster. But I'm happy. Like everything's good. My mom's healthy. I fixed all my stuff that was wrong and everything's gravy now. Which is just funny how like it's behind the scenes. Like somebody could be going through like 10 things at once. And that's just me. Like imagine other people, they're probably going through worse things. So
How did you manage it? Like, let's say someone's going through similar situation as you, right? They're getting hit left and right with all these different things.
Yeah.
How did you manage it that could help another person?
I think I think I'm smart and I take it by priority. I'm like a person who like prioritizes big things, but if there's a small thing I can take care of real quick, I'll like go back. I'll go do that like one small task. Like I gotta go fix my car. I'm like, yo, I gotta like just drop this off in like Uber. Like screw the money. Like let's just like spend the time to do that quick. So I just like drove to the mechanic, dropped it off. I was like, yo, get this done for me as soon as I can. And then I Ubered out, and then I like had to like help for my mom's stuff, and then obviously my mom's the most important thing. So like I knew I'd need the car to like go see her later again anyway. So then I like spent the time going to the hospital and dropping her off food and stuff like that. So like you just gotta take it in like a priority. I see it like priority sequence, but if you can knock off one task quick that you don't have to worry about or deal with later, try to take those out too while in the middle of like prioritizing the big ones.
Go step by step. Like, don't do everything at once.
No, don't do everything at
Don't
once.
do
Like that's another thing. I left some things like the girl problems and the other problems. I was like, man, you guys could all wait. Like
That's funny. But yeah, that's a great way to take it, right? So if this ever happens again, like if too many stuff happens to you, it's just take it step at a time, step at a time. All right. Other than boxing, who are you outside? Who are you outside of boxing?
Um, I think people would think I'm a big nerd, man. Like I just chill, play video games, play board games with like my friends and cousins. That's what I was doing yesterday. We were playing like the name of the game's so bad. It's called Secret Hitler. I don't know.
What?
It's so bad. It's that game's actually like banned because of the name, but it's like a really good game. And it's like obviously we don't play it because of that kind of stuff, but um it's just another board game where it's like one of those board games where like you have to like lie. Some people are lying and some people aren't lying.
Hmm.
You have to like kind of figure out like who's what role, and then you like
Oh, like a mafia?
kind of like a mafia.
Okay,
Exactly.
okay, like
Exactly.
mafia. Okay, okay. Okay, you're talking about nerd. What do you mean by that?
Nerd, like people like who like play video games. People just have like a
How would that be a nerd? That's just everyone. Everyone's like that. Everyone's has their chill days. They enjoy it. Huh. I don't see that as a nerd.
Okay, then I guess I'm not a nerd. I'm just a regular friend. But I also do I like going on walks and stuff like that. I try to like go to a different trail every like weekend. I try to like stay active without like exercising. Like I go biking. All right, biking is kind of like exercise. So I've been like fixing my bike recently, so I'm gonna like start doing. We used to bike from like Morningside and Shepherd all the way to downtown.
What?
Yeah. Be like a 4-hour bike ride, and then we'd like get Chick-fil-A, and then we wouldn't bike back. We take the subway back, but we're gonna like start doing stuff like that again this summer, and just being outside.
That's crazy. Bike from Morningside and Shepherd all the way downtown that's oh my god. Where do you guys take like local routes or
No, we take like
you
trails.
trails? Okay.
Yeah, so some of the trails don't match up like perfectly, so you have to like go on one trail, and then you have to like get back on the main road, and then you gotta like cut in through a neighborhood and then another trail. But it's like a fun trip, and there's like a few of us go together, so it's like it's like fun, and we're like joking around, so it's like yeah, it's fun.
All you know. Do you hit the gym other than boxing gym? Like workouts, like weightlifting gym.
Yeah, like I go to the Pan Am Center, or sometimes I go to Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta still hit those like normal weights too, because you gotta like if you only box, your muscles and stuff will get like they won't get like stronger, because like if you don't like lift higher, like the strength and like that's what comes to like tendon strength and joint strength. So if you don't like that's to like bulletproof your like body, so that way when you do punch things, you're like more solid.
Yeah, because of the weightlifting, because of the heavy weights. Okay, no, because I was thinking because majority with the boxing is just like it's all physical stuff, right? Like I know you need to do like weights, but like I don't know how much like a 200-pound a bench press is really gonna help you while you box. Like I don't know that, right?
Yeah.
But then for you, it's probably like helping your chest, like putting the power in your chest to I don't know. It probably goes to your arm and then goes into your opponent's face or something like that.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. It depends how you train. Like if you're just doing like those movements, but then you don't like develop elasticity. Like let's say those meatheads, like they just keep pushing weight, but then they like can't move their arm and they're slow and stuff. That's when it'll like affect your boxing. But if you can push that weight, but you're still like fluid and like you can still like deliver quickly, then you're just getting stronger, but you're still able to like deliver a punch fast. So it's beneficial. Yeah, it all just depends on how you train and how you recover, and like if you're like translating it well.
If an average person just wants, let's say let's say 3 people instead of 3 people, there's just one person tries to rough them up or something, right? What are some basic tactics that they should do?
A bit, yeah. Like if you ever get into like a street fight, you gotta like keep your hands up, like bring your hands up to like your face, like your eye level. Yeah. Because then if the most like if they hit you on the chin, like that's the spot that will like hurt you the most, or like the temples. So if you like keep your hands up, they're less likely to hit you there. So you gotta protect that, and also like it helps you like hit them. Like if your hands are already up here and then you're not swinging from like down here, you're like closer to the target. So when you hit them in the face or wherever you want to hit them, your hands are already up to like be there.
Okay, so put your hand up and
Something like that.
And then put your hand up like that, and then what? Do it.
A lot of people, they break their hands in punching because they don't know where to put their thumb. So you got to put your thumb here.
Okay.
Yeah, like that, and that's how you make them most often. Some guys do this and stuff. Like if your thumb touches them when you throw like this, it's gonna hurt. So yeah, you got to keep your thumb.
So what do you think about like putting it inside?
No, because if you punch it, it's gonna hit your thumb. It's still gonna hit your thumb.
Okay.
So you gotta keep it right there.
So like this, and then where is it?
Aim these two knuckles.
These two knuckles at Well,
Shit.
straight to the chin.
Right in, yeah, or their nose, like a lot, like a trained fighter will like take a punch to the nose, but they'll like keep going because they've been hitting the nose so many times that like you kind of know even if your eyes tear, like they still keep going.
Yeah.
But like a average person getting hit in the nose, like they just like that feeling, they'll just like not be ready for it.
What about the liver?
Oh yeah, like the body shot, like yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be the left, like your left hand hits them, yeah. So right here, if you hit there, like that's like lights out. If you hit them hard, like that's like one of the most painful spots to be hit. In a street fight, I wouldn't go for it because like in order to hit them with that, you need to like set them up. You can't just like walk up to them and just hit it, you know, like they'll, because it's so low, they'll like by the time you reach down, they'll just punch you in the face, right? So you gotta, like that one is more like a counter. Like you gotta get them to punch and dodge it, and then you hit them in the liver. Or you could go for it if like you notice like they keep their hands up like this, but they're not protecting that spot. You like punch them in the face, in the face, in the face, and then you just sink.
Ooh, okay.
What?
Okay. Yeah, it's because thing I was one of my friend boxes, right? And then I think I was seeing some video of people punching in the liver, right? So we were just doing light taps on the liver. Like he did a light tap on me, and bro, that hurt so much. He didn't even do a lot of power. It's just like really light.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn. Okay, that's pretty hectic. That's why I asked him like, why don't like can we just do a liver shot? Because even the lightest tap, like it hurts a lot.
Yeah.
So that's
good if you get that, and it's nights, that's lights out too. But
so okay. So on the street, hands up, and then bam in the face. Just keep going at it, right?
yeah, bring your hands back too. Like if you punch, like after you extend the punch, like bring it back to your face to like block anything that they're coming back with, and just keeping them up in general will like save you. Because like even if they rush you, like your hands are already up to like to stiff arm them or like do whatever, right? If your hands are like down, then you can't really like do anything. You can't really defend yourself, and you can't really like get off a punch.
Okay, so some survival tactics. That's really good to know.
Yeah.
Because I always imagine, I'm like, what if someone's here? Like, what do I do? Like, I don't know. So I'll probably put my hands up and that's it. I'll try, like, everyone would be like, spam the punches and that's it. Like, that's what everyone would do. But like, that's not a good thing. Or they're just gonna come and attack me, right? That's how it goes. Okay, going back to your boxing career. You told me that you were boxing basically every single day while you were at university, and then probably now you're boxing every day or every other day, or it's like
Every day, like 6 days a week, I do boxing training.
okay. So that's where like the motivation and the discipline comes in, right? You know when people are like, oh, they get that spark and then they do it, right? You had that spark right away to start boxing, right? But then from then till now, you're still doing it, right? Then the discipline kicked in, right? How do you handle that? Because I know someday you want to quit, but you still keep going to the gym and you keep hitting the bags, keep going. Like what keeps you motivated? What keeps you going?
I've been doing it for so long. I just love doing it. Like I jump out, like literally when the alarm goes off, I like jump out of bed and think like, yo, let's go, let's do it. Like I just like, I don't know. Some people tell me like, oh, I hate getting out of bed. I click my alarm 5 times, snooze and stuff. I'm like, bro, like you're just delaying the inevitable. Like just jump out of bed and just go do what you got to do. Like, it's not wasting time like rotting in bed, I think I do it for like, I just love fighting. Like I think it's like therapy to me, and I think I've built something out of it, and I'm continuing to build things out of it, and I just can't imagine myself doing anything else at this point. And honestly, I just get up every day and loving what I do. So
just keep on fighting. Yeah, just passion just keeps that's your motivator. That keeps you disciplined. So, I want to keep fighting because I love it. Right? At the end of the day, you love it. And then you also have that end goal that you have. It's like, I want to become a world champion. So you're still putting the work, right, every single day to get there. So looking back at yourself when you're a 16-year-old, when you're, when you stepped in that gym, right, while you were hustling, working at McDonald's during then, trying to pay for the boxing lessons, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
So when you're a 16-year-old, right? Let's say he was sitting right in front of you right now. What would you say to him?
I would say like don't worry about what others think, because like on the way there, like people are always telling me like, oh, like you're too skinny, or like you're not strong enough to do this, or like, like a lot of people like they're like, why are you doing this? You're gonna get hurt and stuff. But like if you see where you're at now, like if he sees me now, he'd be so proud. So he'd be like, yo, this guy made it to turning pro. He like got past all those fighters. So I'd say just keep doing what you're doing and just like don't like let the negativity feed into you.
Has that ever came into your mind?
What?
Like, because you're probably getting hate from people around,
Yeah.
right? Just like just speaking, because people want to be in your shoe, but they can't. So like the best way they can do is just being negative towards you.
Yeah.
How do you handle that negative thoughts that come to you?
I think like negative thoughts and negative people, I just want to prove them wrong. Like, oh, you're gonna say this? All right, yo, I'm gonna remember that. Like, I'll take a screenshot and hold it in like my phone and be like, all right, yo, I remember this guy said this. I want to prove him wrong. Or like, I keep like the receipt in my head. Like, okay, all right, that's how you feel. You're gonna like it's gonna turn around on you.
Okay, yeah, revenge is the best. It's like the best versus. Wait, what's the saying? Revenge is
a dessert best served sweet or something?
it's just like like if someone wants to, the best revenge you could do is like be successful.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what you're doing, right?
Mhm.
So I love how you're kicking it out here. Going full force, being passionate about your boxing career, and you're still going at it. Before you get into a fight, right?
Mhm.
There's always a lot of nerves, right? That probably go through your mind, right? Or are you just like, yo, let's go, another day at the job, let's go fight.
I think no, you get nerves. Like every fighter's lying if they tell you like they don't have nerves. Like for me, the nerves are like I would say like when you're like at the after the weigh-in, and then after like you eat the like food and then like you get starting to get closer when it hits like within like 2-3 hours of the fight, and you have to like get to the venue and like that's where it starts like really kicking in. Then I start warming up, and I feel like at the warm up is where like I start to like slowly lose the nerves. Then on the walk-in, it's like a little bit of a kick of nerves. But then by the time like I get in there, the ref's there and like they ring the bell, like I feel like it's just like that's like fight or flight. Like it's just like yo, go do it. So yeah, you feel it a little bit, but it goes up and down like throughout the night leading up to the fight. But then definitely the walk-in to me is always like a little bit nervous. But then as soon as I like step in and it's go time, like it's just another night. Like you've done this like 100 times, bro. Let's just do it's just another night.
I don't know, because it's a big stage, right? It's just you. But like when you're on the stage, it's just you and him. It's like a regular. You have your own scenario, right? Like there could be so many people here, but what you think is just me and you. That's it.
I do hear like I hear my coaches like because I can hear their like instructions and stuff. So like I try to like listen to that and do what they're asking me to do. But other than that, like I tune out like the crowd and stuff mostly. Other than like the people shouting instructions and then just like yeah, like being attentive in the fight because you don't want to like because you gotta your focus has to be like laser focused because if you like slip up and the guy hits you with something you don't see like that could be it, right? So you got to be like
At these fights, what does winning mean to you?
winning mean to me. I would say just putting on a great performance. Like if I did everything I was supposed to do, whether I knocked him out or like I just outboxed him, like he couldn't touch me or whatever it takes to just put on a good performance, make sure the crowd appreciates it and win the fight. Like I don't want to be known as like a boring fighter or like a person who does like some people you watch them fight but they're like running the whole time or like they're not like they don't have an exciting style or like so I want to like really please the crowd. Like people pay good hard earned money to like come watch me fight like and I sometimes I hate like I'm like damn like to watch me fight these guys have to pay like hundreds of dollars and some of these people are like I know they're not like in good positions like they're like kind of poor and stuff or they're not like making a lot of money but they're like still spending money to like come support me so I have to like put on a good show for them.
Who do you fight for?
Fight for I definitely say for my family, like to put my family in a better position. I feel like this is like the only way I know how to because I've been doing it for so long and I don't know. I don't see myself like starting a business or doing anything like that. So this is like my way of making a dream come true.
For your family.
Yeah.
That's great. That's incredible. Let me finish. I always finish off the podcast with one question, right? That I ask for every single podcast. Let's say nobody watched this podcast and they skip to the very, very end. What would you like to say? It could be an end note. It could be an advice. It could be anything generic or anything general.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be specific just for boxing.
I think it's something that boxing has always taught me. It's like, don't let the highs get too high or don't let the lows be too low. just because you like win something doesn't mean you have to like go out and celebrate as if you won like the world championship, or like you have to like go be over the top or anything. The same way, if something like really bad happens in your life, you don't have to like sink all the way to the bottom and be depressed and not do anything. You gotta like always like, don't take the highs too high, don't take the lows too low, stay in the middle, be like, don't be emotionally like unstable. Just keep floating in the middle, and like things just trend your success like upwards. And slowly I think everything will like piece together and the stars will align. And just make sure to do things that way. Like nothing like great was built overnight. So you just gotta like keep being consistent, take things day by day, and one day everything will come true.
Thank you for being a part of the podcast.
Thank you for having me.